Hello, hi guys. How are you? Alright, great to see you again for this week video. Alright, once again, really thank you and appreciate you coming week after week to continue to watch our video on this channel. But most importantly, thank you for yourself, alright, for actually continuing learning on this investing journey week after week to improve your knowledge and experience on investing itself. Alright, so in this week video, I'm going to share with you some of the gurus that I learned from that you can reach out and learn from them as well. Alright, you don't have to know them. I don't know them personally, but their knowledge and wealth of experience is definitely something that worth you to actually read up, to understand and learn from them. Alright, with further ado, alright, let's get into it about this avenue, how you can actually reach out to all these gurus. Alright, so the quick one, before we dive into it, if you are brand new to this channel, alright, if you like what we do, if you like the video that I'm doing, it's really appreciate that you actually can like and subscribe this channel because it gives us a lot of motivation to actually continue week after week to do this video. We know that our content actually benefit you and your friends, and we will actually find ways to actually create more such content to actually benefit you. Alright, so just click on the subscribe button beside it, but most importantly also not forget to click on the bell button beside it so you will be notified when the next video is uploaded onto the channel every single time. Alright, okay, so a quick disclaimer, if you have not seen this before, this is the first time, please pause the video and read it through. But it's not generally what it means. On and all, it does a disclaimer to say that whatever we share on this channel, on this video, is just purely for educational purposes. If you touch on any stocks in any of the video, particularly in this one, it's really just for education, for reference only. Alright, please do your own due diligence before you take any action. Alright, okay, so let's get into this thing called the books that I want to recommend you to read in this video. Alright, so I mean, a lot of times we actually want to learn from a lot of gurus. We hope to be their apprentice. We hope to have a chance to actually speak to them, right, and get some wisdoms of wealth about their investing journey. Alright, unless you have like millions of dollars, you can go ahead and try to actually make a bidding every year to have a lunch with Warren Buffett, right? But unfortunately, not all of us have this kind of money that we can actually expand on our knowledge, investment knowledge, or on our own education in that amount, in that magnitude, right? But so some of the good ways that actually we can actually learn from actually through books, through audios, through video, they are actually generally a lot more cheaper for mass of us who actually can reach out to. Alright, so books are one of them, and these are the books that I read that actually changed my mindset and how actually I look at investment. Alright, so I hope that they are useful because they are the common books that most investors I know, they read them as well. So I definitely think that they benefit them, they benefited me, they will benefit you as well. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the book. So I want to start with the first book that I read, and in fact this book is I think it's the most common book that most investors or anyone who actually into investing in themselves, investing in their journey, they somehow rather come across this book, and somehow this book in fact trigger the mindset and the thoughts of most investors. Right, so this book is none other than Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Right, this is a very simple book, very easy to read book, and this book basically talk about the rich dad, which is a father of a friend of Robert when he was young, and the poor dad he usually referred to his own father. Right, so he actually, as he grew up, he has his own father who actually teach him. His father is an educator who teach him in a certain way, but his friend's father, who is like a stepfather to him, right, he actually teaches him and his friend how he actually look at things from a different perspective, because his rich dad is actually a businessman. So he teaches him very differently. So in this book, Robert actually shared about his two different mindset and perspective, how he actually look at finances and how things talk to him differently when he was young. And because of the mindset and perspective of things, how he can see from both different fathers, right, he able to understand also how actually most people actually see things differently. Right, if you are able to see and think like the rich, you will think and see and act like the rich. Eventually, you will be one of them. Alright, so this book is a great book to start. It's not hard to read about the things. I just put it very simple and very layman. It's a very easy book to read. If this is your first time, or rather if you just watch the video, you just happen to be thinking about what are some of the books should get you kick started in reading, in terms of developing your personal finance, developing your investment journey, I believe this is one of the books that you should start reading with, right? Of course, I'm also a great fan of Mr. Robert Kiyosaki in terms of his books and series. So it's not just his Rich Dad Poor Dad, I write his other series of books as well. There are plenty and many of books that he has, but these are the few ones that I have read, and I find that they are really good. So after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, alright, the next book series I read with is the Cashflow Quadrant. Alright, so in Robert Kiyosaki, this is one of his trademark. He did mention about the 4 quadrants of people that generally fall into, and then how each quadrant actually earns and invests their money differently, and they create their wealth through this quadrant very differently. So the key idea when it comes to Mr. Robert's book is how does your cash flow flows in each quadrant, and by the flow of the money itself, you can actually determine whether you will be successful or not successful in the long run. Alright, but that doesn't mean that you belong a certain category, you can't change. Of course, you need to be aware, okay, your current quadrant you are in and which quadrant you want to be, right, and works towards that quadrant, or create a system, or create ways to be in that quadrant, so that eventually you'll be in that quadrant and then create the kind of wealth that you actually wanted in the future. Alright, so that is one of them. After reading Cashflow Quadrant, I went on to reach Guides to Investing to find out a bit more about how actually investing works in their perspective, in Robert's perspective, how he actually looked at investing from each different quadrant of people, and what's the key thing, ideally actually invest style between the B and I quadrant. Right, so these 2 books are the great books to read, but what really changed a very deep impression in terms of how I actually look at investing early and retire young, and how the rich actually get richer, right? Which is something I always wanted to know. People keep saying that we need to achieve financial freedom early, and how do you actually do that? And that's actually I got a lot of perspective and things changed, or how I look at it by these 2 books. Okay, the first one was actually Retire Young and Retire Rich by Robert Kiyosaki. Alright, he did mention that actually some of the ways that you can start doing when you're young, and eventually by creating a certain system, a certain way, you can actually start investing and create a certain kind of wealth when you are at a much younger age, rather than the traditional way that you have to work and save, and until your age 65, 70, when you retire, that's where you get rich, right? So he teaches you a lot of different ways of how I look at it. And the other key book is this book, Why the Rich Get Richer. Alright, so a lot of times we want to get rich, but how does the rich actually works and do to get richer? Alright, and that is one of the way that they are not commonly taught in school, definitely. They are not commonly taught in the mass market or shared by media. Okay, after reading this book, I think one of the reasons I found out why is because most of the material that you read in school, or even on social media, or on any of the news channel, the thing is this: most of them are not written by very well successful people. So they do not have that mindset and that knowledge in that aspect written in this book. That is why, and probably this is one of the reasons why, they couldn't actually written such article that is similar to what he's written in the book. Right, so if you want to find out why the rich really get richer, this is one of the books you definitely have to read. But this is the book that's a bit more advanced. Okay, so I will say that if you can, try to read his earlier books to actually build on the foundation about his philosophy, because his philosophy is very practical, it's very useful, but it comes from a clashing school of thoughts that is very different from what mass market or generally most of us know. So you need to be open, with an open mind, to read his book right at the start from his earlier series. Then you slowly progress into these 2 books towards the end. Then I would think that you will get the best out of these 2 books. Alright. Okay, so these are 5 of the books I actually read from Robert Kiyosaki, his series. Okay, but if you want to go deeper into investing, of course you cannot not read this guy's book. Okay, basically the legend of investing, one of the world best investor, that is Warren Buffett. Of course, he has many books that was written about him. It may not be written by him, it may be written by someone else about him. There's plenty of it, but do be selective with what you pick, because some of them are just purely business oriented. Some is about his style, some is about his biography and stuff like that. Alright, so one of the books you can probably look at is The Essay of Warren Buffett. Basically, this book actually written by Lawrence, Mr. Lawrence, to actually share with you how Warren Buffett actually looks at businesses, how he looks at managers, how he looks at the structure and the model of the business from Warren Buffett's perspective before he made any investment decision. Right? So if you are a very full-fledged value investor and you are also a very business-oriented person, you want to really think and see how Warren Buffett actually look at businesses before start investing. So probably this is one of the books you can to read on. But like I said, there's a lot of other books about him. You are feel free to actually search the whole archive of Book Depository or any of the bookshops, Amazon, to find out more about what other books that actually interest you. Alright, okay, so beside Warren Buffett, of course, there are also other gurus you can learn from. And these are the 3 gurus most investors will know about them, definitely. Of course, there are more, but if you are into value investing style, you probably will know them. Alright, the first book you definitely have to read if you are a value investor. Alright, you have to read about this book called The Intelligent Investors, actually written by Benjamin Graham, which is the teacher of Warren Buffett. Alright, so Warren Buffett learned from him because he was one of his students. And in this book, Benjamin Graham is a very fundamental business-oriented person. Alright, he want to find out in depth about a company, right, in terms of the value, what the company structure is, how the company make money, and whether are there modes in the company before actually investing in the company itself. Right, so if you are a value investor, you are actually deep dive into want to find out a little bit more how Mr. Benjamin Graham actually looks at companies itself. Definitely, this is one of the books you have to read. You are reading the masters. You are reading the masters books of Warren Buffett, right? The masters of the masters. So this is one of the books you shouldn't miss. Of course, the other one of the common book, if you are into stocks and businesses, you might want to read this book called Common Stock and Uncommon Profit by Mr. Philip Fisher. Alright, so this book will actually run through with you using old examples of companies. Alright, at the point of time when he was written this book is very, very old, but it was written on his during his time. Right, he shared about some examples of how some very common companies, they seem so common, seem so ordinary, yet they have unbelievable or uncommon profit as compared to their next competitors. Right, so what are the traits of such companies that they have, right, to actually are able to seem so ordinary yet can so outperform their competitors by so much profit. Right, so if you are a person who actually like to delve into business, this is definitely one of the book you should read as well. Alright, of course, most people know, of course, by one of the most successful and famous investor, alright, in the Wall Street. Okay, so you should actually read about this book, One Up Wall Street by Peter Lynch. He actually shared with you pretty much the same in terms of how he actually look at some of the businesses to invest. And he did also mention, although he's a Wall Street one of the Wall Street traders, he did mention that how actually average investors like us can actually have an advantage in terms of over traders and investors in the Wall Street. Okay, one of the reasons he said that is because a lot of good businesses that are actually in the market, they're actually doing very well, performing very well, are actually businesses that are just around us. For example, like P&G, Procter & Gamble, alright, they just do shampoos and stuff like that, which is basic necessity we use. Right, just for example, like McDonald's, it's just a fast food chain that we eat all the time. Alright, but what Peter Lynch did mention is a lot of companies like McDonald's, like P&G, they did not started out as McDonald's in the current size, or they did not start at P&G as current size. Can you just imagine in the whole world which company just starting, boom, I'm McDonald's and I'm very successful? No company started like that. Most companies started small. As they do well in their business model, they scaled up. They get more business and they continue to scale, and over time they become so profitable, and their business model is economic mode is so strong that able for them to sustain for so long. Yeah, so what Peter Lynch has said is some of the companies, they are just very small, they call it small businesses, small SME businesses, yet they are just around you. If you know how to spot these kind of businesses that are actually growing consistently, right, years over years, and the company, you know that the management actually have an intention to actually scale their business internationally, or actually go IPO and stuff like that, you might actually want to start investing in this kind of company when you're smaller, right? So that you're out of the radar of all these Wall Street investors first, or rather the Wall Street traders, so that when they grow, when they've been identified within their radar, the more people know about this kind of company, they'll start investing in this kind of company, and that's where you push the share price up, you make the company go a lot larger, and that is where your initial small capital could probably grow 5, 10, sometimes even 20 times. Alright, so that's his whole idea about how you actually should look at small businesses around you to find out. So that's actually give any ordinary investor an edge, because all this SME company could be just around you. You just need to be aware, just need to look out for them, and just, if you like the business, if you like the management, just invest in them, and hold it long for a long term. Alright, okay, so these are some of the books. If you want to learn in depth on the really very good gurus that you can learn from. Of course, at the end of the day, if it's not just about the stocks and share, if you're also a person that ideally want to actually manage your wealth management as a whole in terms of investing and stuff like that, I think you probably can read about this book by Tony Robbins, The Unshakable. Alright, okay, so basically, Mr. Tony Robbins is actually not an investor, actually not an investing guru per se. He actually runs global businesses and stuff like that. But in this book, he actually want to give concept and idea of how people actually should manage their portfolio. So he actually pull in a lot of great investors that he knows from his network to actually share their experience and knowledge that he can gather, and then contextualize everything into this book to share with people how to actually create financial freedom, right, through investing, but on a more balanced and well-managed way. Alright, so this is therefore also one of the books you should read. I would recommend, because it's pretty simple, very easy, pretty straightforward to read. Of course, there are better books out there. You can always feel free to dive deeper out of this range. Alright, so quick summary. So these are the books I recommend. The top 5 are actually basically the series by Robert Kiyosaki. Of course, if you want to go more in depth into our guru, you can read books about Warren Buffett, Benjamin Graham, which is Mr. Warren Buffett's teacher, right? Or you can read from the book from Mr. Philip Fisher or Mr. Peter Lynch. Of course, in terms of wealth management, you can read on this book called Unshakable by Tony Robbins. Alright, so these are the books I read. There are more books upcoming that I have read, and I'm going to read, because every time I'll be looking for new books to read. They are not exhaustive, so feel free to actually explore out. But of course, if you are just started out finding books to read and you haven't read any of this book, please feel free to actually you can buy them. If not, you can find anywhere within your local library that actually has a book for rent. You can rent it out for them, or just ask any of your investing friends who might have the book, just lend it to you to read. Alright, so if you want to buy them, alright, so one of the avenue I would recommend, okay, is bookdepository.com. This is where you can get it, and this is the place where I get all my books. Alright, what I like about them, firstly, their interface on the website is very user friendly. It's super simple and super straightforward. Alright, and they have a very wide range of category that you can choose from. Alright, so it's not just about investing, it have a whole wide range. Basically, they are just like a subset of Amazon and a start where they only do books. Alright, so of course Amazon has evolved and developed into an e-commerce, but Book Depository purely doing books. Alright, of course they had to do some other minor stuff, but that's not the main gist of their core business. Their main thing is their books. So you can go there and find what kind of books you want to read. You can definitely search and find them. Unfortunately, not all the books they carry, right? But they really do do have a wide range of them. But of course, if you can't find any of them, you can actually search somewhere else. But the books that I did mention in the 10 books I actually recommended, all of them can be actually found on Book Depository. Definitely no issue, right? So, but the best thing I like about it is because they do worldwide free delivery. Alright, so with that being said, okay, because they are worldwide free delivery, please, if you're not resided in US, please do expect the delivery period they're gonna take. So you can actually somewhere in the website just look out for it to have an idea how long does it take to deliver from their warehouse. Alright, if I'm not wrong, their warehouse I think is based in UK. alright, to where you are. So there's a lead time. Okay, do find out what is the time duration and expect the kind of duration, because it's free delivery worldwide. So do not expect them to be as fast as Amazon. So please do understand about it. And of course, they have their own policy. If you want to find out more before you buy any book from them, you can feel free to actually uh, read up more. So far, my experience with Book Laboratory, I only have one order didn't came through. So I wrote in to them to ask about the update. But in their system was actually written that the book was delivered, but I didn't receive it. So the good thing is they did offer to make a refund, which is what I think such company is very good, because they want to refund me the money and full refund. Okay, but because I wanted that book, so I actually request them to send me another copy, which they did. So I don't have to pay more, I get a new copy. So I think their service is pretty good. But of course, there's some lead time because time zone might be different. So please be patient with that. Alright, okay. So if you want to get a book, if you really do want to get a book from Book Laboratory, and if you like the video I have been doing so far, I really will appreciate if you can give some support to me. Okay, by visiting this referral link below. So I'm on Book Laboratory affiliate program, right? So for every books that you buy on this platform, I will get a 5% referral fee. Alright, and the books that I recommended are really not very expensive. They are generally less than $50. If you buy Robert Kiyosaki books, some of them is only about $10 or $15. But 5% of it is only less than two bucks. Alright, so I don't make a lot of money of it, but having a bit of pocket money, to allow me to buy some candies, buy some popcorns, buy some coffee, buy some bread for my snacks. It's still pretty encouraging for me to have something out of nothing. Alright, so if you really buy the book, you can actually go on this link. Alright, go on this link, bookdepreciate.com, and this is my referral link. So what you need to do is just copy this, put into your browser. Your browser will catch that this link is actually been referred, and after that, if you make any purchase on that visit, alright, they will actually make a mark, and whatever book that you actually bought will have a referral program. Alright, but if you go through by their standard, I'll just be clear upfront. If you just go by their default browser without entering this link, the website will not capture my affiliate account, and everything will just be by brand new default customers. Alright, so I will not get any referral. Alright, so if you really like what I do, right, I really appreciate. But if you don't do it, it's fine. Because I don't make this for a living. Alright, just to be clear, if I want to make this for a living, I need to recommend like 1,000 or million a book for people to buy. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. So it's just really purely for pocket money, just for the fun of it. So if you like the video, if you like the books I recommend, if you really need to buy it, just via this link. But of course, I know this is a generic link for you to do it. But if you really know specifically which are any of the 10 books that are listed you want to buy directly, okay, I will actually put the link right below in the description of each individual of them. Alright, so you can actually just click and you go straight in to actually purchase them. Alright, so I think that will actually make things slightly easier for you. Alright, okay, so with that being said, okay, I really hope you like this video. I hope you find these 10 recommendation books useful, and if you read them and like them, alright, and find great knowledge or wealth in it, which I think you do, alright, just make some comments at the bottom of this video to share about how do you find the books for recommended, what do you like about the book itself, and anything else you find good about the book, so that actually you can create a discussion to know about what this book, how it can help you, and how it actually has shift your perspective, or how some of the strategies that you think you can apply on investing. Alright, okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope these 10 books will help you. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video so far. Alright, so just watch out for the next video, and I catch up with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye bye.